Court, the movie podcast where Sean
and Mampy
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
Inside Out 2, starring, same people as before.
Joy. Sadness. No.
What is Joy's name?
Is that Amy Poehler?
Yes.
Okay, Amy Poehler.
Sadness. I don't remember her name, but she's great.
Phyllis something.
Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yes, Maya Hawke plays, that character.
Oh, okay.
Anxiety.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep, and there's other characters, but none of them...
Yeah.
But one of the problems, spoiler alert, one of the problems is that almost none of the characters matter.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all just standing around for some fucking reason. Okay. Mampy, ask me this.
Yeah.
What did you think about this movie?
What did you think about this movie?
Honestly, I thought it kind of sucked.
Oh, dang. Wow, he just tore it down.
Did you? What did you think?
You took it downtown, and you said, I am not interested in this film.
But what about you?
What I thought is immaterial. No. What about
who cares about my opinion?
My opinions. They're just the ramblings of an old fool.
We just both ask, and neither of us make any decision. And then we're just like, well, we just describe the plot, but that's it.
Yeah. I mean, people have been asking for a change, and
who has?
Maybe, they're not towards us specifically, but a general outcry of like, things need to change. And I'm like, maybe, we
Biden?
lead the way. No, we should tell how we thought. I thought it was okay. I was like, all right. Yeah. It was definitely not as good as the first one, obviously.
No.
You can't really...
No.
Because you can't beat how... Like, the first one was that, like, I don't really want to see this.
Yeah.
But then you see it and you're like, oh, there's, like, really beautiful stuff in it.
Yes.
And then you see this and you're like, well, they kind of already did all the big, beautiful stuff.
Yes.
So...
Nothing else is beautiful.
Yeah. It felt like, and then this happened after the... good stuff.
Yep.
You're like, all right.
Remember when that also happened?
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh,
or
yeah.
was it?
Definitely felt like Disney sequel, like, like Return of Jafar, like, not as great quality. I mean, it still looked pretty, but...
Yeah.
But like you were saying, like, about the characters just standing around or, like, settings that just feel like nothing's really happening, and you're like... This movie's kind of weird. It just feels kind of bare or something.
But you have to admit, there was a plot.
There was a plot. It did happen, yeah.
And you know what happens in this movie, Mampy?
A little bit.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you. There's a brain. Inside the brain is joy and sadness and fear and disgust. Those are the only child thoughts.
And anger.
And anger. Oh, yes, and anger. Lewis Black. And one day, just as little girl... What is her name?
Oh, God.
Cody? Zipple? Bimpy?
Nina.
Lunkhead?
Fiona.
Let's call her Fiona. Let's call her...
Riley. It's Riley.
Riley, yes.
I was like, what is it?
Yes, just as Riley is about to go to hockey camp, she reaches puberty.
Red alert.
And unlike most people who reach puberty, she never once thinks about sex.
Yeah.
Every other person who reaches puberty does, but she does not, which is, hey, good for her.
Yeah. Hey,
Probably easier.
Yeah.
Much easier life.
She doesn't, what do you call it?
Asexual?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she's asexual.
It's pretty exciting. We never know.
We don't know.
That was one of the things, I was sitting around at the end of the movie like, yeah, but like, who does she want to F? And they didn't really answer that.
I mean, I'm of two minds. Obviously, I don't want that to be the movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if the whole point of the movie is puberty, That's like one of the big fucking things.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
It's a really big fucking thing.
People don't want to admit it, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. This is what happens in the movie. She goes to hockey camp, but her pits stink.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's got new emotions. Anxiety. All of the other ones. They're all sort of the same. There's ennui.
Yeah. Ennui.
There's, who's the big chunk?
Embarrassment?
Embarrassment. Who's the tiny one who's very annoying?
Envy?
Envy, yes. All the deadly sins are in her head now.
Yeah.
And they kind of do stuff.
Kinda. Yeah.
You know, sort of do things. So she's at hockey camp. She's so in love of the idea of this hockey lady that is in high school, and she wants to be just like the hockey lady, and she's with her friends, and she's not nice to her friends anymore, and she starts to wonder if she even is a good person anymore, because that was her main. You know, they got a thing in the basement that they added to try to add another area,
Her
but
core belief.
Yes, it's her core belief, is I am a good person. And then she realizes, in the end, spoiler alert, that her core beliefs are like, I'm great, I'm bad, I'm happy, I'm sad.
Yeah.
And that her core beliefs, in fact, are not core beliefs, I guess, because there's 100 of them.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
interesting.
you can have 100 core... who knows?
They all form one core belief somehow.
And everything works out in the end. And that's it. That's basic, you know. She plays hockey, and she's mean to everybody except the people she wants to be like, and, you know, aren't we all?
Yeah, it's one of those where the character becomes so, like, awful that you're like, how are these people just like, oh, yeah, it's cool, no worries.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, you know.
I mean...
That's true beauty.
It's complicated. Life is complicated.
It truly is. I ain't got it figured out.
You know what is not complicated, though? The gyro, the beef lamb gyro, the very best part of this movie, which is Mampy. Question mark.
The very best part of Inside Out, the feature 2 sequel to...
Yes. Inside 2, Out 2.
Into, Out 2, Out 2? That was my suggestion for the name, but I never heard back. I sent a letter and Pixar never responded. But if I had to pick something, I would probably say the scene.
You do have to pick something.
I guess so,
You're really bucking against this idea.
Yeah, I'm...
of having an opinion.
Ennui is taking over my life. Ennui. Which I liked her as an addition, but she is not my favorite addition. My favorite addition is the PS1 graphics superhero fantasy man that they added to the story.
He's great.
And I honestly wish he had come back for one final thing, but he just disappeared from the movie, which was kind of weird. But so Riley has a crush on this fantasy. He's like kind of like a Link from Zelda type character.
Oversized sword, vaguely anime.
Yeah. Vaguely. And it kind of like Smash Brothers type fighting game or something. And they do like a fun play on like his special move just being him rolling into a ball, but it being totally useless. I was like, that's pretty fun. I like that.
It was nice.
Yeah, and I like that they used different animation for it. I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yes,
cool.
that part was fun. I also like Bluefy on that.
Yeah.
Bluefy and Pouchy. There's like a 2D animated kids character named Bluefy who's like a fun little dog. And there's a little fanny pack, I guess?
Fanny pack, yeah.
A little fanny pack named Pouchy.
Fanny.
And he's got a bunch of shit in there.
Pouchy's great.
At one point, they stuff their hand down his throat trying to grab stuff, which is nice.
Yeah, I really like Anger's just like going in there pulling dynamite out. Yeah, yeah. I thought Pouchy was good, and I like when they all have to call. There's no solution. They've given up, and then they're like, wait a minute. Oh, Pouchy! And then Pouchy comes in. Hi, guys. Yeah, I like that.
Hey there.
Yeah, Pouchy was good.
Who's the other person? Oh, there's What is the other thing that's in there?
Oh, the deep, dark secret.
Oh, her deep, dark secret.
Which, who knows? Maybe that's the stuff that you were looking for and they didn't want to go into it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would there... I mean, to try to pick apart the entire architecture of the way the story goes together is stupid. But it is weird that it's like, so there's a deep, dark secret that is kept from the brain itself?
I guess.
Which makes it sound like something so traumatic happened to her that she has blocked it out.
Kind of scary.
Like, oh, that's real fucked
it's
up.
Like, wait, what's going on?
Someone murdered and she witnessed a murder? What happened?
Yeah, that was a little wild. I was like,
well, it's a weird movie.
Yeah, and it like taking the shape of like kind of nothing. Yeah. Like everything else was so specific and then it was just like some generic 3D thing. It was kind of weird. Yeah. There's a lot of like generics in this where you're just like doesn't really feel very Pixar-y or something.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah. Not to get all negative, but
we're not negative yet. We're being very positive. For instance,
positive.
Did you know the best part of this movie, Mampy?
For you?
Yeah, for me.
I don't know it.
Or maybe even more so just in general. Maybe I am this do-all, say-all, end-all of this.
You might know better than I.
This is the best part. Inside Out 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Inside Out, the Dawnbringer, Inside Out, Anxiety Strikes.
Yeah. It's
not some title. Inside Out, Dead Reckoning. Though I love the Mission Impossible movies, but
yes,
it's just not another bunch of words that I have to desperately try to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the seventh Mission Impossible movie. Mission Impossible Lost Creature.
Everyone's wallet.
The darkness. So it's just Inside Out 2. That's nice.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
It's simple. Yeah,
for bringing it back. Mad Max 2 or The Road Warrior if you prefer.
Yeah.
There's no like Mad Max, the Road Warrior who helps the tan people with their bus.
Ooh.
That is a nice title though.
I do like it.
They should change it. Okay, but in addition to that, the other greatest part is the anxiety attack.
Yeah, that was good.
I felt like, for the most... Okay, I was about to say something negative.
Uh-oh.
But luckily, we're in the positive section, and I'm going to say only positive things. I thought the anxiety attack was one of the places where they best nailed the feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
They, like, you really... And also, one of the spots where I most felt for Riley... Where it's like, oh yeah, I've definitely gone through that sort of thing where I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking stupid and worthless, and nothing I do is right. So why don't I just have a heart attack that's not real and just freak the fuck out?
That's pretty wild.
That part was like, okay, I get this character. I understand what she's going through. The anxiety thing finally makes sense to me. Where it's like, okay, she's running shit. Sure, she's taken over, and also the way that it was portrayed with anxiety kind of like moving around, turning into like a big speedy tornado.
Yes.
And then they're inside of the speed run that she's doing, and like anxiety is like glitching.
Yeah, I love
Joy
that.
has to sneak in and kind of like pull her hands off of the... Well, I guess maybe she talks her out, who knows. And that part was like, okay, there's like a cool vision here. We have reached the spot where the stakes matter.
Yeah.
And that's good. I like that. And that was kind of the best thing about the first movie is that everything felt very important, even though it was like, well, she's getting on a bus she'll probably be fine, but
Yeah.
still, it's like, this is in some way dangerous or scary. And despite all that, you kind of are like, oh no, this could be the end.
This could
And
be it.
there's very few... okay, negativity. This is the one place... still sounds negative. In the movie where I thought they finally nailed that.
They really got to the point. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I thought that was so well handled. And I love when anxiety, even herself, is just like frozen, like unable to.
Yeah.
Because that's what that feeling, it just totally does. It just like it incapacitates itself, and you're just like stuck in this weird state. And I like that the friends kind of break her out of it, which allows the feeling to be like, okay, let me go. Let me let go of this and let something else in, because otherwise we're gonna die.
if you're out there and you're like, I feel anxious all the time, what am I gonna do? Hey, one thing is to just be like, wow, this is all fake.
Yeah.
I made up this feeling. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for me to feel this way. Now, that can be difficult, but if you work at it, it sometimes helps. And if it doesn't help, well, there's ice cream.
Yeah, build in things that help you relax. Like they do.
Yes.
They give her a chair. They give her some tea. They like...
This segment is brought to you by Popeyes.
Yes.
They brought me chicken fingers right to my house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Popeyes. They'll bring you chicken fingers right to your house. Sorry, it should be more New Orleans. Popeyes. Ding-dong, 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 tell.
Love that chicken that they'll bring to my house.
Yes, I love... Those are... I mean, obviously I have a lot of favorite racist commercials, but those are some of my most favorite.
The top of the line.
Yeah, where she's just like, oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. The spice.
It's like, ooh, yeah.
Crispy, crunchy spice.
Is it getting racist in here, or is it just me? Woo.
Hey, it's so funny, though, because it's so good that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure,
People are like, I'm just going to eat it anyway.
I agree. I totally agree.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
What other positive things do we have to say about this movie?
Let's see. I gotta say, I don't... As much as I remember liking the first one, I don't remember too much other than, like, the like imaginary friend stuff that really impacted me. So
Bing Bong?
Yeah, Bing Bong. I was like, oh, that was really
that Bing Bong
sweet.
Thing is fucking rough.
Yeah, it's hard. That one was hard. There was nothing that even came close to that one for me in this one. I got a little teary when Joy was like giving up, basically.
Yes.
In life, and like maybe growing up is just like feeling joyless. I was like, that kind of made me. I was
kind
like,
of true.
Maybe.
I mean, if they should have just stopped there, honestly.
Yeah, that's the end of the movie.
What if growing up just means you don't feel joy anymore?
Boom. Mufasa.
That's all, folks.
That would have been a great ending. Like it cuts to that, and like Bluefy says that, or like the back, and then they're like, "Just kidding."
That would be. That's
another missed opportunity.
This movie, one, it probably couldn't pull it off just because it has like so much seriousness built in, but it's too bad. Also, they wouldn't try.
No, they wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I like Sadness taking a little more initiative.
Yes.
And like I always liked her character. And
Sadness rules.
She's like, I don't know if I want to come down. I like seeing Joy and Sadness like working together. And there's even a line, something about like I need you as much as you need me or something. And I was like, that's really sweet. I was like, there's some nice stuff.
Okay, I'll say it anyway. I sort of felt like it was weird that they broke them up.
Yeah.
I guess they had to because of the way things worked, but also at the same time I was like, they should have thought a way around this.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Those are like the main characters and they're not with each other.
Yeah.
Weird. That's weird.
It is a little odd. And then these other new characters aren't like interacting with the new characters very much, so it's not helping us endear them. They're just kind of there, and you're like, all right.
Yeah. New
More of these
characters are not
people.
interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Really?
They're just
a
kind of
little,
there.
maybe.
There's
I
a
think-
lot of vagueness to this whole concept that just really starts to poke out, and you're like,
Yes.
I just don't really understand like some of the choices. That
Mampy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
While we're here, let's switch negative,
Yeah.
but know that we'll think of more positive things as we go.
Surely.
The low main of this movie, for me, was a concept I like to call "Who cares,"
Yeah.
which struck me
Yeah.
often throughout. And a lot of it is just because in the first one they made the things that they made everything seem very important.
Yeah.
Because, I guess in some way, as far as like, the way you think of yourself and the way you live your life, those things are important. Like these moments when, I almost ran away from home. That's like a big moment in your life.
Yeah.
And I just, for the most part, didn't feel like any of this stuff mattered as much.
Yeah, the stakes.
Maybe they just didn't make me feel like it mattered as much, but it was just kind of like, oh, okay, so she's just kind of mean to her friends because she just wants to make new friends? Well, that's not that nice, but so, I mean,
Yeah.
she'll just meet new friends, and she'll be able to still hang out with her old friends, and if she wants to, or maybe she won't be able to. That's kind of what life is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens when you switch from middle school to high school.
Yeah.
All of the people you
Things
used to know
change.
go away because you don't have a car.
And it's not that crazy to be like, oh, these two friends that I will not see anymore. Maybe I should put less time.
Yeah.
into like,
I mean, she shouldn't been like rude and
Yeah.
mean about it the way she was. And that is part of her journey to learn about that kind of thing. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I just didn't feel like that had much stakes.
Yes.
This is like, well, of course they're not going to be your friends anymore. Unless they live right next door, then they can be friends. But otherwise, they will never see each other again.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, maybe they'll do like some sleepover where like parents can drive them to other places, or they can meet up in the evening or on weekends. But they're not going to be the same kinds of friends just because, well, they're going to a different fucking high school.
That's how life sadly works.
Those are so far, like, if you're not in the same high school as someone, especially at this age when you have no mobility, it's like, well, maybe I can I can ride my bike 4 miles to see my friends.
Well, hey, this is a little personal, but it's kind of like what I'm going through now. It's like I'm in a totally different world than all my friends and family.
Yep.
And it is hard.
You're Riley.
I'm Riley. I feel that the whole time I was like, I'm her. And the movie kept telling me that, and I was like, wow, I'm
her.
I want to play hockey. I want to dye my 2 strands of hair red.
Yes.
I want to be friends with that hockey girl.
I want to be the only white person
Yeah.
in a hockey camp. Maybe the world's only time there has been only one white person at a hockey camp.
I will say, like, it was like maximum amount of like the diversity, like trying to fit in like the diversity crayon set or something.
Yeah.
Like it was like, okay, everyone can be a different. It was kind of amazing. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. They got them all in.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite race? They got it.
You got it. Yeah.
They got it in there.
You're represented. You fat. You're in there. You're skinny. You're in there. Like they got everybody. They were like, boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
Pixar. They're covering every base.
Pixar's like, you know what? What I think of when I think of hockey? Diversity.
Yes.
We've seen it all.
Yeah.
A sport like basketball, no diversity in basketball.
No.
But a sport like hockey,
Now
just
that's
the united colors of the world all coming together to play hockey.
yes.
I mean, just think of Kenya's hockey team. They're amazing. And China's hockey team is great.
Yeah. They love hockey.
The Jamaican
Yes.
hockey team, they're Their bobsledding team is great as well.
Yes, of course.
Lots of so many different races love to play hockey, and I'm glad that they gave them all their moment to shine.
I know, it was good to finally see that represented, because every hockey movie I'm like, where are the other races? And I know where they are. They were in this movie. They were waiting.
They're in another arena watching a different sport, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I am making fun, but it is nice.
Yeah, of course.
It is just completely unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just odd.
If there were even like 3 white people to have like some shred of believability, but it is interesting that it's like somehow in fucking, I guess maybe it's San Francisco. Do they even have? Does anybody care about hockey in San Francisco? None of this makes sense.
If you're in San Francisco,
about this.
Write in.
Yes.
Do you care about hockey? And then we'll find out.
If you are a Pacific Islander from San Francisco who plays hockey, please tweet at us at Food Court Cast. We want to hear from you.
If you're not white, just tweet at us. Have you heard of hockey? Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't. I was sitting there watching. I was like, what the fuck is this? Sticks, pucks, ice, skates?
Ice? That must be cold.
What the hell? Yeah,
why would they do this?
And blades? That doesn't seem very safe to me.
Thank you.
What if we balanced our entire body on blades? No, I'm gonna go and put on some roller skates.
That's some fucking Canada thinking right there.
Oh boy.
I don't think I know how to do a Canadian accent.
Me neither. It's like
Oot.
What are you doing over there?
Okay, let's.
Was that pretty good?
Let's do our Canadian impressions. Okay. I'll start.
All right.
Hey there, how's it going? I'm from Canada. What's it all about?
All right.
And now you, Mampy.
Wow. This is the craziest day of my life. Is that pretty close? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I thought for sure you were David Cronenberg or Michael Ironside or Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Mike Myers.
You know, when I do that movie, I made it. Is that good? I feel like I'm spot on.
Hey, when I made the movie about the instruments for mutant women,
alrighty then. I remember doing the mask, and I put it on my face.
It's so true.
Yeah, Canadian's pretty easy.
You know what else is bad about this movie?
Yeah, I know Milo, man.
Tell me what it is.
You kind of brought it up, but the whole idea of like the characters just standing around, it kind of felt like everyone was just useless, because the first one, if I remember correctly, is mostly about Joy. She's like on her own, like trying to figure out stuff, right?
Yes.
Like, she gets lost or something crazy. I don't remember.
I think she's with Sadness. She and Sadness go out on their own journey.
Yeah, their journey. Because I remember seeing more of her, but yeah, like seeing the other two, or other three, really just kind of be in there. I was like fear and disgust, especially. I was like, what is the point of them being here? Like, they're not, other than the parachute thing that helped.
That was a good bit.
But I was like, it just doesn't quite work having like 5 people walking around lost. Like, it's just too much.
Just having 10 characters?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's insane.
It got a little messy.
None of them have anything to do. Anxiety has a lot of stuff to do.
Yes.
Even Joy and the rest of that gang are just walking.
Yeah, the whole movie.
For the whole fucking movie, they're just walking. And like, small things are happening to them.
Yeah.
That like don't seem dangerous or particularly exciting.
Yeah. I did think of something I liked.
Oh.
The room. Okay, so there's a point where Anxiety has a room of animator type people like making. Yes. I forget what they call them. Like, oh goodness, what is that? There's a word that's very specific.
Coochie?
Not coochie.
Is it coochie? Okay.
They're making like predictions of like what they think's gonna happen in the future. I forget what they call them in that, but and then like they're all like really negative, crazy stuff,
Awful,
and then they start adding in like, okay, but what if this nice thing happened? What if this nice thing happened? And I like that whole setup. I was like, this is fun.
Yes, absolutely. And even the way it was like put together, that they're all just the fact that like even inside of our mind, there's cubicles to keep people down. There's just like there's no safe place from having a shitty job, even inside the human mind. And we're just like, oh fuck. Okay, but guess I better go back to the drawing board, literally. And my entire job is to draw bad things.
That could happen.
Sad things that I am a part of, that will affect me.
Projections. There we go. I was like, what is that? Oh, yeah. They're projecting things.
Yeah, they're projecting things. And, that part was nice.
It was wild. Yeah, we really are creating our own torment.
Yes. I think it, more so in the first one, but even in this one, it does do a good job of, like, addressing how weird it is to think. And be, and how really stupid so much of it is. Because it's like, well, okay, why am I feeling anxious? Well, just because anxiety is in control. That's literally the only reason. Is because I'm not exerting enough happiness.
Yep.
I'm not deciding to be happy. I've decided to be really annoyed for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another problem. The new characters aren't that great.
Yeah, they felt very half-baked. Just like, I don't know.
Super half-baked.
Yeah.
And also, just...
Ennui. I mean, as much as I liked her, I was like...
Yes. I like that character.
That's the
It was
emotion.
pretty funny. But is that one of the main feelings of like being a teen?
I don't know. And then, like, her being sarcastic, like, it felt like so over the top. I was like, this doesn't feel genuine or something. Like, it feels very weird. I was like, I don't know if this is working the way the other emotions work.
Yes. And also, like, stuff that is pretty simple in the first one, like, disgust is disgusted.
Yeah.
With a bunch of things. But it's hard for someone to be always envious.
Yeah.
It's like, it just makes them to be a very annoying character, which they didn't attempt to capitalize on as much as I thought they should.
She was just kind of there.
It's like, she should be really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And she is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But not, like, as a bit. Or it doesn't feel like it's a bit. It just feels like she's just annoying. Not like they're like, oh, wouldn't it make sense for Envy to be annoying?
Yeah,
it's just like, I just hate this character.
Yeah, half
so
the time
tired of them.
she just stopped being like I feel like a lot of times they just stopped being the personification of what they were.
Yes.
And they were just characters. And I was like, this is weird. I mean,
when
even
Joy's
the main people.
I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I guess disgust, like, that one was a stretch even for the first one for me. Like, disgust? Like, how often are you...
Tough.
Yeah, I don't know. And just, so many times they just don't feel like themselves. Like, anger always feels like an angry guy, pretty much.
Absolutely.
He'll do nice things, but...
And maybe that's an easier one to fit into the different parts, but... Like the disgust one, and this is even worse. I wrote down the new actors kind of suck, and I thought it was amazing because, like, I find Mindy Kaling kind of annoying, but compared to Mindy Kaling in the first one, this new disgust is like, how are you so much worse than that person I didn't even like in the first place?
Oh, did they change the actor?
A few change. Mindy Kaling changed. Disgust and Fear were both different.
Okay, I felt like there was a little difference in, like, the way they... Yeah, I was like...
At first, I wasn't even sure about Lewis Black.
I was amazed that it's still him.
Maybe it's just because he's so old that he's not able to, like, muster up that kind of intense rage.
He's just like, all right,
but he did seem like more downtrodden than
Yeah.
angry. He was kind of like, God damn it. This fucking sucks. He wasn't like, He was like,
Exactly.
God.
Now, I will say I did like nostalgia. I thought that was a nice... I liked her coming up and be like, oh, I remember. That was nice.
That was really good.
I was like, oh, nostalgia.
And weird that they didn't let her come out.
Yeah.
Because, like, humans are very stupid. And we have nostalgia about stuff that happened very recently.
Very true.
Especially, I mean, I feel like I'm less ridiculous about it now, but I feel like at that age or into my teens, I was like, oh, remember when I used to play with He-Mans?
Oh, yeah, my
It's like
twins.
4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
remember 3.5 years ago when I used to play with robot toys? Wasn't that
Yeah.
fun? They're still in my basement now. I could play with them right now if I wanted to. But remember the good old days when I had GoBots?
Yeah, oh, GoBots. Bring them back.
Where are my GoBots fans at?
Come on, let's hear it.
Where's the GoBots movie?
I know. What the hell is happening with
Somebody
Hollywood?
somebody should buy that, right?
Hollywood, get it together. Stop making this dumb bullshit and make a real good movie.
Stop making Inside Out 2 where you just make so much money.
Deadpool and Wolverine, who gives a shit? I want to see those bots go. Show me them. Now.
I want to see GoBots in Wolverine.
That would be cool.
I mean, that would probably legitimately be pretty cool.
We have got to start mixing things that aren't related because Deadpool and Wolverine's too close together already.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, and I'm having to work on this because my special lady likes Marvel, and that's been really hard. That's been a really hard hurdle. But I'm having to accept that they exist, even if they aren't for me.
That's it?
No. No. That's not. I meant something else. I'm trying to stretch myself, but I still revel in the beauty of sitting and watching the Deadpool Wolverine trailer in complete silence. No one's laughing, no one's reacting to anything. I'm like, finally, maybe we're all able to feel how I felt for so long.
Deadpool's going to be the biggest movie of the year.
I know, but
bar none. It will definitely be.
I just don't get... Like 20 movie showings I've gone to, that trailer's played. Silence. No one's reacting to any of the bits. And yet, what is this world? What have we become? We just mindlessly watch.
So, are you talking about like the phone ringing trailer or the actual trailer?
The actual trailer.
Okay. The phone ringing trailer I find unbearable.
Yeah, that one's horrible.
And the actual movie trailer seems like whatever. I really like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think he's great at it. Mm-hmm. And I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
So that's maybe kind of exciting. I don't know. But I'm not sure about the rest of it.
I just can't stand Deadpool. I really can't. I tried.
It just seems
old.
like strong Patton Oswalt to me. That's like all it is. It's just like references
exactly
to things, and it's like
endless
okay,
references.
I guess you saw that movie. Cool.
The Paul Rudd aged well. I can't stand. I'm like enough.
Oh,
just
is that
shut up.
Wait? Is that when there's a big skeleton?
Yeah, they open up Ant-Man's head and it's just a skull, and he's like, Paul Rudd aged well. I'm like, shut up! I wanted you dead. Like, I can't take it.
That Ryan Reynolds, he loves to make references.
I'm sorry, I get it. Hey, look, comedy didn't work out for me, so what do I know? But
are you sure?
Yeah, maybe the moment I quit,
there's
people
still
like,
time.
Hey, we've been looking for you.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds is like 50 or something.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And he sucks. So someday you could be 50 and like really unbearable
true.
Too.
By my own measurement, all these people that suck have so much success, so I should just, as much as I tell myself I suck, it's like, why am I not? I should then be able to rise to such heights.
Hey, I believe in you.
Thank you.
There's still time.
I believe in you as well.
Okay, this is another thing that sucks. Where are jokes?
Yeah, that's true.
I think I meant to write where are the jokes?
Yes.
But you get the idea.
Yeah.
Why isn't this one as funny? Isn't the first one funny?
I remember there being at least more bits. Yeah, it's weird. It was a little sparse.
I don't know if I am railing against this unjustifiably. And I didn't really hate it.
Yeah.
This is a classic case of the first one is much, 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 much better.
Yeah,
so this one kind of seems lame because of it.
Yeah.
But it did feel like they lost most of what was good about the first one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we'll do the same thing. What if we did the same thing?
Yeah,
I know that's how all sequels are, but you should find a way to imbue it with some kind of passion.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Thrills.
Like, I almost expected them to, like, do a thing where they do a sequel, but it's, like, inside the parents the whole time or something. Like, not...
That would be great.
Do the same... Like, it was weird that they just stuck with the same girl and, like...
Yeah.
Did the same... It was interesting. I was like, huh.
Same girl. They make essentially the same journey, even though it's a journey to a different place, but they're still journeying.
Yeah.
And it's still the same. They still have to go a long way.
Yeah.
And instead of having the same characters that we like, they add 5 other characters that we don't know.
Yeah, and there's this weird inconsistency where they go inside of other people's heads and those new emotions aren't there. So you're like, then what?
That, I didn't even think
yeah, it's like kind of weird. It's like...
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, who are these other ones? They're so strong, and maybe just in puberty and maybe after puberty they all die. That would be amazing if they all just disappeared after puberty.
Yeah, what the fuck is... So, like, both of the parents just have the regular emotions.
Yeah.
They have, like, the baby emotions inside of their head.
Yeah.
Well, except for sadness. They have the young... I don't know, a teen? No, it's a preteen. They have the preteen emotions in their head, and they don't have any of the other emotions?
Yeah, it's interesting. It just doesn't quite... I know that's starting to get too into it, but it's like, it is kind of funny. You're like, wait, why? And then this bothered me. I thought it was funny, but like they go inside of different people's heads and all the emotions have like their hairstyles.
Yes.
But then you're like, why don't they have Riley's hairstyle? It starts to not make any sense. And you're like, huh?
Yeah, they all have mustaches in the dad's head. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Why do they have mustaches?
Why don't they all have braces?
Why don't they have braces?
Yeah.
Truly. Why don't they have braces?
I just don't think they should have even... I don't remember if that was in the first one too. I know they went inside their heads. Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I think it was like a funny, fun bit.
Yeah.
That's near the end where they're like, oh, the father and the mother. See, they have to deal with the same shit that the daughter has to deal with. Isn't that funny? And it was funny. I remember it being funny.
That's it. Yeah, it just starts to create a weird inconsistency where you're like, wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting. But you don't need to... I guess we don't need to think about it that much. But it is just funny. I was like, what? But why wouldn't...
It is one of the problems with making a movie that is not that bad.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, that's all I have to talk about now is the stuff that I don't understand about the way the human mind works within the Inside Out universe.
Yeah. There's rules that have to like be adhered to for like it not to just like not matter anymore. That's the problem. Sure. Like, it is annoying and like nerdy to be like, well, actually, if you did this, but like, then you're like, well, actually, you kind of do have to do some of these things because otherwise the rails are just all over and you're like, nothing means anything.
Yes. And
which is tough.
In general, I am never like how can a car fly to space kind of guy.
Yeah, sure.
In the movie, the car can fly to space, whatever. But when all of their rules are sort of broken willy-nilly.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I mean, I'm glad that you brought that up so I could be more annoyed by it.
Yeah. But I sometimes feel bad, like, people are like, oh, I like this movie, and I'm like, well, I thought this, and this, and they're like, oh, I guess it is kind of bad. Like, I remember talking to a lady about Saltburn, I was like, I mean, it's just like, like a long TikTok with hot people, and that's all it is. And she was like, "Oh, I guess that is kind of."
Come.
Like, come.
Don't forget to come.
Come, the movie.
Come. Did you see the vinyl?
No, I didn't.
Now, I didn't really like Saltburn.
Yeah.
But the gross parts were only parts I really liked, so I kind of liked the vinyl.
Uh-huh.
The vinyl is a see-through vinyl
Uh-huh.
that is full of a strange white liquid.
Are you...
And the center thing is like a drain. It's like a bath drain.
Oh my god.
So it just looks like a bunch of cum. It's pretty good.
Wild.
It's a pretty good bit.
Wild, man.
I'll be honest, it's a pretty good bit.
They are nuts. I mean, that's crazy. I feel like they wrote that scene and they're like, I'll just make a movie based off of this.
Yes.
And they went out from there.
I mean, that's the kind of thing you could potentially build a movie on. They obviously forgot to do that, but Ms. Emerald Fennell, she forgot.
Yeah, and I forgot most of that movie, and I'm glad. But that's okay. We can all be different. Some people probably loved Inside Out, too. They're probably like, it's better than the first one, man. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Was that a hockey player?
Yeah.
Are you doing an impression of a hockey player?
Yeah, I was one of the many hockey players. Brah. Pass
Time
me the
to play
puck.
hockey. Are there other bad or good things about this movie?
I'm trying to think. It's just like stuff that sticks out. I'm trying to... It was like very just middle of the road.
It was quite middling. I truly was watching the whole thing and feeling fine.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have to talk about it, I probably wouldn't have anything negative to say.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
It's like I would just been like, well, it was a movie. I didn't feel bored necessarily. I just didn't feel much of anything of all. I think that is truly the thing that most gets me about this. Is the first one was so deeply emotional.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was just like, wow, they're really getting to something about how complicated the way our brain works is. They're simplifying it in a big time, but there's an understanding of like, well, all of our thoughts, all of our feelings are very complicated, and that is just how we live our lives. And and this one, I didn't feel emotion. I didn't feel emotions.
Not really.
Like once or twice, I felt emotions.
I was like, oh.
There were like a few sad parts, and I was like, oh, this is bringing up in me some sort of feelings.
Yeah.
Like during the anxiety attack, I was like, wow, I get that.
I feel that,
is horrible. I hate that feeling, and I totally understand it. But for the most part, I was kind of like, okay, so I don't know, she's good at hockey.
Yeah.
That is sad that she's really good at hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting, and there just wasn't much consequence to what she did.
No.
Like, she was just kind of like in the penalty box, and then, I'm back at it, and then it seems like she still got on the team. Like, it was kind of interesting. I was like, okay.
Yeah, everything went fine. Fine. I mean, I guess everything is fine at the beginning of Inside Out, but it felt like there was some striving that there was lots of movement, and there was lots of people like really working hard to fight for this ending. And it didn't even seem like any of the characters ran. Like none of the feelings moved particularly quickly, even like
true.
there was any necessity to, which there should have there should have been some, I don't know.
Not much urgency.
Importance. Or some, just, let's go there, quick. Or
let's
else.
get on this pizza. No, let's get off the pizza and talk about why we shouldn't get on the pizza. Okay, then we'll get on the broccoli. Like, it was just
get on broccoli. And it's not like, I feel like in a better movie they would have made a scene out of the broccoli, where it's like, You know, it's
Yeah.
like a POV.
They didn't.
You know, it's like a water ride, and we're splashing and like barely holding on. And
Yeah, why
I think
didn't
they
they?
maybe sort of did that, but not in any way that was thrilling.
I can't really remember. I can't even barely like the brainstorm thing. Kind of. None of it really had the oomph to it. It was just kind of
Yeah.
happening, and you're like, okay.
And I mean, maybe that is an indication of the fact that like as we age, our emotions are less powerful or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But in the first one, like the entire structure of her brain threatened to fall apart.
Yeah, which is wild.
Like every single part of her that we loved was crashing. And in this one, it's kind of like, well, you know, isn't it bad to be sad? Sort of. Isn't it sort of kind of bad to maybe be sad? Inside Out 2, isn't it sort of maybe bad to be sad?
Yeah, it was weird that, like, her sense of self was, like, able to be all these things, but then it was like, well, just you, Joy. Which, honestly, that is not really true for, like, anxiety. Like,
No.
you can't just go, well, I feel great. Like, you can't.
No.
You kind of need a mix of everything to, like,
Yeah.
chill yourself out and then work through it. Yeah, it is. I think that Puss in Boots 2, sorry, I know it's a title, The Last Wish, dealt with anxiety a little bit better, but that's just
Yes,
me.
I agree with that.
I'm biased.
But you know what, Mampy? We can't only talk about Inside Out 2. We've got to talk about the other movies we watched this week, which brings us to a segment sponsored by Panda Express called Panda Express Presents Express Yourself about the movies we watched this week. Play the song.
It's time for the Panda Express, because we got some things expressed, ding ding, about the things we watched, boom, this week.
That's good.
That's some good shit.
Did you watch anything this week?
I'm sad to report I have not watched anything outside of Inside Out.
Outside of out of it.
Out
Out inside.
2 times.
Well, don't
How
worry.
about you? Yeah.
I watched the movie.
Hell yeah.
I watched the movie from 1991,
Ooh.
starring Jeff Speakman,
Okay.
called The Perfect Weapon.
Whoa.
It's a movie about a guy,
Uh-huh.
and he was a young kid, and man, he was a little bad slash badass kid. He was a little son of a bitch, and his dad, who was a cop, was like, "You gotta get out of here." But the cop dad's friend, played by Mako from Conan the Barbarian, is
Whoa.
like, "Oh, you should teach him Kenpo." And so he goes to Kenpo class, and he learns karate, and he learns to try a little bit eventually that he should not let his emotions control him, that he should fight only when necessary, and that kind of thing. And then he has to go away, of course, because he disappoints his father, as usual.
Classic.
And then he comes back to town, and he must take revenge because, spoiler alert, someone gets killed, as usually happens in a movie like this.
Eek.
And then he just kicks everybody's ass.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's really cool. He kicks everybody's ass. James Hong is in it, who plays, he's in Big Trouble in Little China. He plays Lo Pan.
Oh, nice, yes.
He's fucking awesome.
Classic.
Which character? One of the guys from Mortal Kombat is in it.
Ooh. That's cool.
What does he play? He's the guy who says fatality. What is that guy? What is that guy called?
Oh, it's something like something Khan.
Shere Khan?
Shere Khan. Yeah, it's something like that. It's very similar. It's like Shao Kahn.
That
or
guy's in
something
it?
like that. Yeah.
There's some big guy in it. He was like a wrestler, but he's square, like fucking Kingpin.
Whoa.
He's just his like body.
Whoa.
His shoulders are this high, and he is almost literally a rectangle.
That is
And
no.
he's awesome. He punches people. When he's about to, spoiler alert, kill people, he pulls a little flower out of his jacket and then, like, puts it in his pocket. That's his indicator. It's killing time.
It's
so
dying.
A little flower, and he goes, ding!
You're about to
And
die.
it just kicks ass. It's just very solid. There's a guy, American version of a kung fu movie, where he's just some guy, and he learns kung fu, and then he beats the shit out of people.
Wow.
And he's the first people. Of course, the first people he fights, he destroys them.
Yeah.
But slowly, as it goes along, he has a harder and harder time fighting people because he's fighting more and more powerful people.
That's how it
Isn't that
goes.
fucking crazy?
I love
and
that.
it just looks awesome. There's a place that's like the Crocodile Club in like the Korean part of I think everything is in Koreatown. In like there's like a Korean bar, and it's this Crocodile Club, and there's just this massive neon light.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like one of those things where, like, okay, this was probably some cheap movie that didn't, it didn't cost much, but they spent money on like a big fucking neon, and it looks so cool.
Whoa.
Unless there was an actual Crocodile Club in Koreatown
Maybe, yeah.
in 1991, maybe. But it's like one of those neon lights that moves.
Ooh.
Have you seen these?
No, that sounds cool.
You've not seen these neon animated lights?
Uh-uh.
But essentially it's got a crocodile, big, long crocodile.
Yeah.
And then it's like lower jaw, like moves up and down.
It's like changing lights to make it look like... Okay, I was like...
Absolutely.
I thought you meant like they were like physically like undulate. I was like, whoa,
That would
what?
be crazy. No, but it just
crazy.
moves. Yeah, it's just hopping back and
That's
forth.
funny.
But it's like a big fucking crocodile.
Wow.
And it's in this like cool little hallway.
Ooh.
So like everybody's green. It's just cool. It's just a
I
good
love
movie.
stuff like, when movies used to do like set pieces like that. Just added so much character to the place. So it's just like,
Awesome.
that's cool.
It just kicked ass. And the whole time I was like, I'm having a great fucking time. This is what this to me is what movies are about. Maybe it's just that I'm becoming dumb as I get old, but just when I see like a good to pretty good action movie, it's like this is what it's all about.
This is what it's all.
There's people moving through space. It's a thing that you could not do on a stage.
Yes.
Like you couldn't make a play out of this. You couldn't make a podcast out of this.
No,
you couldn't make a song out of this. It could only be a movie. Mm-hmm. And it's about people in motion. And that is the whole beauty of a movie, is you can see things in motion. And I just really loved it. That's all.
That's awesome. That makes
It's probably
me happy.
actually not that good, but I just had a great time. And isn't that all that matters?
Exactly. Certain things hit and you just go, that did it for me.
I also saw Bad Boys 4 again, which is fucking awesome.
Oh, wow. You loved it. That's great.
It's the third best Bad Boys movie.
That's funny.
But maybe 7 times better than the last one, but I didn't really like the last one. But this one's just a lot more about silly shit.
Yeah.
And for the most part, Will Smith is not the main character.
Interesting.
Martin Lawrence is kind of the main character. They sort of switch due to like emotional stuff. They kind of switch places.
Interesting.
And it's cool. Martin Lawrence is very funny. As I maybe told you already, he seems absolutely fucking trash the whole time. He's like, Michael, we should do a mission. I got a gun. We can shoot people with the gun.
That's great.
It's so funny.
You see, he was in this movie called Beach Bum, and he was acting like that, and I was like, maybe just for this movie, but maybe that's just what he does.
That may be, yeah. Yep.
That's wild.
Who knows? Maybe he's a great actor and he's pretending to be an alcoholic.
You never know.
Or, he's the fact that his eyes are sort of yellow makes me think that he might actually truly be an alcoholic, which is incredibly sad.
Those obviously. Horrible yellow eyes.
But he's amazing. So funny.
I want to do a scene where, because you know how Aunt May, the Green Goblin attacks her and she sees those yellow eyes.
Finish it.
But like having Martin Lawrence like blow up into the room and he's just delivering a line and she's like, those horrible yellow eyes.
I can't die. That is one of the. Sorry, I don't want to spoil too much, but one of the plot points is that he thinks he can't die. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
Okay, maybe
it's a great movie.
Convince
Check
me
it out.
to see it.
5 stars.
Maybe I'll have to see it.
100 stars.
100 stars.
Next week, I don't remember what we're watching, but god damn it, we're watching a movie.
We're so close to The Quiet Place, but it is not
We're
yet.
so close. I feel like is it almost big Kevin Costner epic?
Oh, maybe.
Soon. Hey, tweet at us. If you want us to watch a movie, tweet at us and let us know what movie. We'll watch it. Please. Or if we don't want to, we won't.
Yeah.
Those are the options.
Yeah, we just won't watch it.
Give us 5 stars on all of your apps.
Please.
Write us a review. Share it. Tell your friends. Thank you so much. Mampy. Thanks so much for having a nice talk with me.
Of course, anytime.
And on behalf of you, Mampy Hikes, I'm Sean Parrott saying to all of our wonderful folks listening and watching out there in Radioland, bon appetit.